Hello everyone, my name is Tolt, and today we're going to be checking out one of my favorite, absolute favorite, I guess, art projects. It's kind of like an ARG, internet lore type beat. The fuck? The mystery flesh pit is the name given to a bizarre natural geobiological feature discovered in the Permian Basin region of West Texas in the early 1970s. The pit is characterized as an enormous subterranean organism of indeterminate size and origin embedded deep within the earth, displaying a vast array of highly unusual and often disturbing phenomena within its vast internal anatomy. Following its initial discovery and subsequent survey exploration missions, the surface orifice of the mystery flesh pit was enlarged and internal sections were slowly reinforced and developed by the Anodyne Corporation, which opened the pit as a tourist attraction in 1976. In the early 1980s, the site was absorbed into the National Park System, which operated and maintained the mystery flesh pit until its sudden closure in 2007. So this sudden closure is also a very big part of the whole lore of the mystery flesh pit, and we're gonna check that out a little bit later. But first I want to go through what I think is the most interesting part, is the flora and fauna that apparently resides there. There's a little brochure on the website, Wildlife Safety Within the Mystery Flesh Pit, it's called. And it's all just done absolutely beautifully with its own like cover and this amazing just writing, which really immerses you in the whole experience. I highly recommend that you go check out the website yourself. I'll link it in the description. But finish this video first. So basically, as you're exploring the mystery flesh pit as a national park, going on hikes and stuff, you may be encountering some wildlife, because the mystery flesh pit is so different from the outside world. It's basically just a giant organism inside the earth. The wildlife evolved a little bit differently. Compound surface fauna is just one of the most disturbing things I've ever read about. Basically, it's animals which have fallen into the mystery flesh pit or have been dragged by the local fauna, and then they get eaten usually, but if they escape, they get compounded into one organism and just this amalgamation of animals. So we've got stuff like macrobacteria. If you know what microbacteria is, basically it's everywhere. It's on your skin. You can find it sometimes in colonies, like little ones about this size. You can see them in like petri dishes and stuff. Macrobacteria is apparently 12 feet across, or 4 meters for those that want to use that metric. Apparently sentient, so if you get too close to it, it'll act very territorial and sometimes even suffocate those who intrude on its territory. But my absolute favorite animal, I guess you could call it, has to be the abyssal copepod. It's basically a gigantic crustacean which somehow made it into the flesh pit millions of years ago. Evolved to have like wax on the entirety of its chitinous shell, so now it can like slide between the flesh folds and stuff very easily. It also grew 2 hands, which it apparently uses to strangle prey and then eat. Pretty terrifying if you ask me, although they're said to be a very rare sight. And they also apparently can measure up to 20 feet. And absolutely the most interesting of all of the animals is the actual flesh pit itself, because it is some kind of organism. And the wildlife that I just listed off is just like basically the surface dwelling stuff. No one ever went down into the deepest parts and actually saw what was down there. So I think why this whole art project, I guess, works so well is because it's kind of blending reality with non-reality. You of course got these very well written, amazing brochures and this very well constructed website, which is really nostalgic because it reminds you of those old national park informational websites. But it's also about a giant flesh pit. And then there was some kind of incident which happened in 2007. We can watch a couple of videos about that right now, actually. So let's check some out.
10:48 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Seismic EKG monitoring stations detected muscle contractions originating from the northeastern limb of the Permian Basin superorganism. This event is expected to cause moderate to severe damage to property, utility services, and infrastructure. Residents are advised to seek shelter immediately. If you do not have access to an emergency
Oh, that shaking is pretty scary. is really well made.
These effects are temporary. They will stop once the event has
Wow.
do not exit yourself or anyone else.
You can hear it's like breaking stuff outside of the room the camera is in.
The outlet for continuing information on this situation.
You can see on the video, Mystery Flesh Pit, July 4th, 2007 is when the incident occurred, when the flesh pit swallowed everyone inside of it. And that's why it was closed. Let's see, this is like a found footage film. I'm gonna turn down the sound a little bit. I wonder if there's a game about this. If there is, comment if I should play it. I'd love to. It's supposed to be like a huge tourist attraction, so I wonder why it's like just this one person walking around. Very reminiscent of the deep sea creatures you might see in real life. It's really cool seeing it like animated in 3D space, because it's always just like brochures and photos like that. Yeah, I bet it actually smells pretty bad. That stomach looks awfully a lot like a human one. I guess that's probably intentional. I kind of wish there was no text though. Oh Jesus! Got scared by a don't believe I got scared. I can't believe I got scared from that. You made it out? You made it out okay? Yeah. And here it comes. It's gonna swallow him in the end. Thank you for watching this video. If you would be kind enough to leave a like or subscribe maybe even, I'd be very happy. Leave a comment if you want to know something or have any suggestions for future videos. I'll be glad to answer those, and goodbye.